19 meters. My GF20F was born a boy. I am so confused, I need help. I am 19 years old and am in my second semester of university. College has been hard on me girl-wise, and I have badly been wanting a girlfriend for a while now. I've never had a girlfriend and have only kissed one girl when I was 9 years old, and a goal of mine was to lose my virginity this year and to develop a relationship. I have been pretty down since I came to school here and have gone through the whole last semester badly wanting to meet and hang out with other girls really badly, especially since I've never had a GF before. I am a real shy guy, so it has been really hard for me to keep conversations with girls and to actually let them get to know me. A few weeks ago at a party, I met my GF. We have been going out for 2 weeks now and instantly we connected like I never have before. With another girl. She is very pretty and I couldn't believe that I could be keeping a conversation with a girl as pretty as her. She seemed very into me and we exchanged numbers and I picked her up for a date the next day. We immediately hit it off and we both had a lot in common. Don't want to get into details here. We spent the rest of the night walking around the town and getting to know each other. I dropped her off at her apartment and before she got out of my car we kissed for 10 seconds and she got on out and texted me the rest of the night. A couple of days later I took her out again and it became official between us. It just happened all so quick and I was so happy, excited, telling my friends and my parents that I had a girlfriend. My first girlfriend. So things had been going good between us for the next 2 weeks. My roommate had began dating a girl and was having sex with her every night. It began making me wonder when me and my GF would start having sex. I didn't want to rush her or pressure her or nothing because I didn't want to do anything to ruin my relationship with her. Well, last night we had a little get together at my house with some of my friends and we all got very drunk. To cut a long story short, we had a good night and everyone left and my roommate went into his room with his GF. Well, me and my girl were still out on the sofa and we began making out. Out of my drunkenness I began touching her arms. And we began making out harder and she began grabbing my crotch and I was so excited in the moment. She gave me a BJ on the couch and then we went in my room and cuddled the rest of the night. The next morning when I woke up, she was already awake and told me she had something important she had to tell me. That she was born a boy. I was extremely taken aback because she is in my opinion the epitome of femininity. So I never expected or saw this coming at all. I feel like I love her already. She is an amazing person with such a good heart. She was very emotional, we both were, when she told me. I was so confused and I didn't understand what to do or say. She told me it wasn't gay because she is a girl. I was just so confused and we ended deciding that we would stay together for now. But I don't know what to do. Sitting here thinking about it all night. How would sex work with us? How would I tell my friends or family? Should I even stay with her? A part of me feels deceived and thinking about the oral sex she gave me has got me feeling weird and even more confused. I am not gay, right? If she's a girl then it can't be gay, right? I just need advice and don't know who to share my thoughts with. I feel embarrassed and confused all at the same time. Another part of me is angry, confused that my first experience with a GF has to be like this. But I feel like we have something and I just don't know what to do. You seem like a good communicator. Given the way you wrote your post, the exploration of your questions and feelings, and your desire to listen. This is a great asset, and also an important one for a partner to have. I think you should talk to her, tell her about some of your confusion, even the bits of deception you're feeling. But also what you stated in your post about your attraction and feelings of burgeoning connection. These are all valid things you're feeling. Even if they seem to conflict, they might not be the way you end up feeling later on. Once you have time to talk, think, react, process, or whatever combo of these you go through, solo or with her. I think it's important that you can talk to her about the place you're in now, as a relationship with her will most likely have other moments of needing to figure out and hopefully connect over what you're both experiencing. Compatible communication is super important for good relationships, so you're getting to test this realm out earlier than most couples. Of course, this doesn't make you gay or bi. She may or may not have fully transitioned yet, but plenty of people are born intersex and their partners aren't necessarily gay or bi. You need to have a frank discussion with her about what you're comfortable with and if she has a penis or not, and if that's a deal breaker for you. Don't let other people's opinion dictate who you date or love. She should have told you before, but it's not easy to explain. Seems like she felt guilty for misleading you, and if you feel strongly for her then you should consider sticking around. Edit a word. I reread OP's post. I don't think he felt guilty. I think he was worried because he has feelings for OP and he was worried about how OP would take the news. He should have told him way before, even when they weren't sexual. There needs to be a way to tell someone that you were born a different sex than what you appear as before you get even slightly physical or enter in a relationship like poor OP did. I am going to go against the general tolerant mentality here and just blurt it out. Someone has to be the bad guy. You re not gay. You re not bi. You were attracted to what you thought was a woman. What I would like to know is if she's intersex, born with both sexes biologically, or a MTF transsexual. We all have a right to our own sexual identity and preference. And this is usually used to defend mostly homosexuals and transsexuals. but it should also apply to heterosexual people. And the fact that she had a romantic and some sexual activities with you without disclosing that could be considered to a much lesser degree rape. Some women have already claimed that sex under false pretenses is rape. Anyways, the fact that Sue entered a romantic relationship with you without disclosing that little detail is wrong and was a violation of your sexual identity and preference. The question is if you love her and have a good time with her. You only 19. You not getting married tomorrow, so it's not you can't take your time to decide on this or that she will be your partner for life. Just take it slow and see how it goes. She might be the one. And she might be another one. As for sex, you could have the time of your life exploring something new, or you could just feel really uncomfortable when you see she's similarly equipped to you and not want to continue. It doesn't make you a gay basher or transphobe. It makes you a person who has a specific sexual identity that is as worthy of protecting as much as hers. Second story. I 34 male recently found out that my SO 32 female had sex with another guy immediately before our first date. This made me feel really upset, and I can't quite pinpoint what I should do. Hello everyone. This is my first time posting here, and I hope I can get a bit of advice on how I should navigate this situation. I have been in a relationship with a woman for a few months. Before I get into details, I am sure someone is going to go through my post history after reading this and find my post from before, so I'll point out a couple of things. I met her at the gym I frequent, where she works the front counter. She is pregnant from a past relationship. We have decided, as a couple, that we will cross that bridge when we get there. So, we're generally on pretty good terms. And the majority of issues that rise up are caused by my own insecurities. I know I have confidence issues, but I am working through them, and she has been nothing short of incredible. But, about a week ago, I learned that on the evening of our first date, she had been physical with another man before I took her out. I am talking about immediately before I took her out. As in she had just finished and had to forego the shower afterwards because she had no time. It wasn't her ex and the father of her child, but a one-night stand, one afternoon stand sort of situation. I learned about this through a friend. And when he started talking about the details, everything clicked into place. I have since asked her, and while she half apologized, "Oh yeah, sorry about that," she seems to be strongly under the impression that she did nothing wrong because we weren't dating yet. Technically, she's right. But when I asked her about why she was so sweaty and red after she got into my car, she told me that she had just spent some time on the treadmill, which was odd to me because I picked her up at home, where I later noticed there was no treadmill. So, she lied to me, but I understand why. I am really torn on how I feel about this. Of course it makes me sad because for the first month and a half of our relationship she didn't want to have sex, she was taking it slow. Which I suppose I understand. She was looking at me as a long-term partner and didn't want to immediately get physical. Which is of course her right, and I should not feel entitled to her body. On the other hand, it makes me feel uncomfortable that she was literally in the arms of another guy a few minutes before I showed her what we both agreed was an amazing first date. I tried to bring the issue up again, but she told me to stop talking about it. Is there anything I can do about this? Too long didn't read my SO had just had sex with another man immediately before our first date. And while she's never cheated, I feel incredibly uncomfortable about it. She's brushed it off as not a big deal. Update. So, it has been about 2 weeks since I learned about what happened before our first date. She and another man had sex immediately before I picked her up, and something about it irked me. While the last post was full of people just in it to mock me, a few users did post very helpful advice. Another user sent me some private messages telling me how I can get over the issue. One thing that really resounded true with me was that I was strongly thinking about how I felt about the situation, but not about how she felt. There wasn't exactly a wedding ring on her finger when she had sex with the other man. At no point in time do I have claim over her body and her choices, especially not when we weren't even in a committed relationship yet. I talked with her about the issue and how she felt about it, and at first she was hesitant. But eventually she opened up and told me that she was looking for some sort of connection. To be honest, I felt really sad that she hadn't given me a chance to fill that role for her, not even on a physical but emotional level, before calling some guy from Tinder over. But I feel like I understand her better now. More than anything, I realize the pressing need for me to come to terms with my own issues, and the social conditioning I've had that made me borderline shame her for having sex. If she felt good, and if he felt good about the encounter, calling myself a victim for it is ridiculous and entitled. Right now I am looking through therapists in my area to see if I can't take a more proactive approach to my personal issues. Thank you all for the helpful advice, even those of you who laughed at me. For anyone who cares, I am working through it and things are looking up. Too long didn't read. I've decided to work on myself instead of concentrating so much on my SO's behavior before we were even committed. Third story. Boyfriend refuses to even try to get me off. My boyfriend, 22 male and I, 22 female, dated years back during high school, and only had basic penetrative sex and the blowjob for him. Nothing else. I asked him to at least try to finger me, go down on me, or even touch me whatsoever. He absolutely refused and made a comment about how gross he thinks it would be. We broke up for a few years, started talking again, and got back together during senior year of college. Same-sex life. Tonight, I brought it up to him again. I said to him, "This is how our sex goes. I give you a blowjob or handjob. We go right into penetrative sex. You finish after 30 seconds. I don't finish at all. And then you're over it and it's over. I have to go home and finish myself off in my room in the dark." He literally wouldn't address anything I said. He changed the subject and started acting irritated and angry with me for no reason. I said, "This isn't an argument. This should be healthy communication. I'm not interrogating you or forcing you to say or do something. I'm just asking your thoughts about this topic." He said, "I don't have any thoughts. I'm just tired." I said, "Okay. Well, let me know if you do." He read my message and didn't reply. Am I doing something wrong? I'm the only girlfriend he's ever had and the only sexual experience he's had. He refuses to do anything besides the missionary position for 30 seconds and then it's over. End of story. I've been with guys before I even met him. And been with guys during the years we were broken up. I had amazing sexual relationships with them. They were very attentive to me. More than willing to do anything to make it feel good for me. And it was an overall very positive and mutual experience. Should I just accept that the current BF won't do that for me and get over it? He's the most stubborn person I've ever met. And he's been refusing to try anything for me for years now. I know it's not going to change. I don't want to have to go home and masturbate every time after we have sex just so I feel like I can get something out of it. I've tried to have the conversation with him multiple times both in person and over text. And he just gets angry and irritated and either insists on changing the topic or leaving. Seriously, I don't know what else to do. He knows I've been with other guys that were happy to get me off. And he doesn't care. I feel like he's just using my body to masturbate instead of his hand. Oh. And he expects blowjobs from me as well. But I have to brush my teeth right afterwards or else he won't kiss me. Too long didn't read boyfriend refuses to get me off. Even though I get him off every time and do my very best. Always. Talking to him hasn't helped. What should I do? Hit like. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to our channel.